2026 prepared for us a variety of movies spanning every genre. Captivating journeys through fantasy worlds, action movies, funny comedies, animated movies for the whole family, spine-chilling horrors, thrillers with twisted plots, beloved DC and Marvel Comics movies, and more. Now, you will discover the top 30 most anticipated movies of 2026. Let's get started right now. First movie in our selection, The Odyssey. Christopher Nolan probably could have done anything after Oppenheimer, which turned a history lesson into a billion-dollar blockbuster. He chose to adapt perhaps the most epic story ever told, The Odyssey. We have no doubt Nolan will pull off Homer's ancient story's epic scale, but can he infuse it with the time-bending narrative tricks he's also known for? Odysseus did spend 10 years trying to get back home after the Trojan War.
Welcome, Panem, to the glorious reaping of District 12.
Second, and the most anticipated movie, The Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. The sixth Hunger Games movie, and the second prequel, features a stacked cast including Jesse Plemons, Ralph Fiennes, Kieran Culkin, Elle Fanning, Maya Hawke, and Glenn Close. The plot revolves around a special version of the titular tournament in which each district sends twice as many competitors, leading to an extra violent event. New action movie from Netflix titled The Rip. Boston boys Matt Damon and Ben Affleck back together again. The duo will co-star in writer-director Joe Carnahan's action thriller about a group of Miami cops who discover millions of dollars in hidden cash. Stephen Yeun, Tiana Taylor, and Kyle Chandler also star.
He sees the good in everyone, and I see the truth.
Supergirl. The DC Universe launched with a bang with Superman, throwing audiences into a world brimming with superheroes and punk rock optimism. Next up, a space-based science fiction epic that looks suspiciously like Guardians of the Galaxy. Can Supergirl keep the DC Comics universe's streak running? We honestly can't wait to find out based on the early tease and word.
It's showtime.
Mortal Kombat Part 2. After delaying this sequel by 6 months, Warner Bros. Will finally release Mortal Kombat 2 this spring. The film introduces Karl Urban and Johnny Cage and promises to do the one thing the last one didn't: show us an actual martial arts tournament. One more superhero movie in our selection. Marvel takes its biggest swing yet with Avengers Doomsday, an overdue crossover set to reassemble not just Earth's mightiest heroes, but also the original Fox X-Men cast, the Fantastic Four, and more. Let's just say it. This will either be the best superhero movie or a total disaster.
Kate.
Return to Silent Hill. This movie will adapt the recently remade game Silent Hill 2. James Sunderland, played by Jeremy Irwin, receives a letter from his deceased wife, which forces him to return to the town of Silent Hill. There, he encounters creepy creatures, mysteries, and his own inner fear as he tries to learn the truth about his past and come to terms with his loss. Street Fighter. The iconic fighting game is getting the Hollywood treatment. Again. Set in 1993, the film finds estranged Street Fighters Ryu and Ken returning to the ring when the mysterious Chun-Li recruits them for the next World Warrior tournament or simply the Street Fighter tournament. A brutal clash of fists, fate, and fury. But behind this battle, royal lies a deadly conspiracy that pits the fighters against each other and the demons of their pasts. And if they don't, it's game over. Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu. After a brutally long hiatus, Star Wars returns to the big screen with the latest installment of Baby Yoda and Mando's adventures. Whether director Jon Favreau's serialized Western take on the franchise translates to cinema remains to be seen, but we're just happy to have Star Wars in theaters again. Crime 101. Movie plot tells the story of an elusive robber who drives the police to despair with a series of daring robberies along the famous 101 highway. Dreaming of the last and most risky case, he unexpectedly meets a disillusioned insurance broker on his way, who is herself on the verge of big changes. Meanwhile, tireless detective Lulu Besnick gets closer to uncovering the criminal scheme. and the tension grows with each passing day. As the moment of the big scam approaches, the line between hunter and prey blurs, and all three are forced to pay the price for their own decisions, realizing that there is no way back. The main roles in the film are played by Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, and Halle Berry. Mercy. Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson star in Timur Bekmambetov's science fiction thriller that takes place in a future plagued by rising capital crime. Pratt portrays a detective accused of murdering his wife by an AI capital court and must prove his innocence. The cast also features Kali Reese, Annabelle Wallis, Chris Sullivan, Kenneth Choi, Kylie Rogers, Rafi Gavrin, and Jeff Pierre. An unexpected appearance of a sequel, The Devil Wears Prada 2. Hathaway plays a pop singer who goes to the Gothic-y mansion where her former fashion designer, played by Michaela Cole, lives to ask her for a new dress. Hunter Schafer, Cian Clifford, Alba Batista, Kaya Gerber, and Jessica Brown Findlay also star. Scream 7. Wes Craven's iconic horror franchise returns once again. After shedding some of its next-gen cast, including Jenna Ortega, who maybe got too famous, Scream 7 brings back original screenwriter Kevin Williamson to direct a 7th movie in this franchise. He's joined by recognizable faces like Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and Matthew Lillard. Project Hail Mary. While we all wait for the Beyond the Spider-Verse to arrive, the minds behind the animated trilogy are offering up a live-action epic adapted from the book by Andy Weir. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller co-direct Project Hail Mary, which stars Ryan Gosling as an astronaut who wakes up in space with no memory of what he's doing there. Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, will mark the long-awaited return of Cillian Murphy to the iconic role of Tommy Shelby, whom he played on the BAFTA-winning series from 2013 to 2022. This big-screen story of the fabled Birmingham gangster clan begins in 1940, amid the chaos of World War II, and sees Tommy driven back from a self-imposed exile to face his most destructive reckoning yet. In Disney's live-action adaptation of the beloved Oscar-nominated animated adventure, Moana answers the ocean's call and, for the first time, voyages beyond the reef of her island of Motunui with the infamous demigod Maui on an unforgettable journey to restore prosperity to her people. Toy Story 5. Disney refuses to let Pixar's original franchise die, and, to be honest, we're not mad about it. Toy Story 4 was good. In fact, despite lots of changing hands over the years, Pixar hasn't made a bad Toy Story movie yet. And the newest sequel, which pits our favorite secretly sentient toys against an iPad, seems like a clever take. Dune, Part 3. The third and final installment in Denis Villeneuve's Dune trilogy will follow the plot of Dune Messiah, jumping 12 years forward from Part 2 and wrapping up the arc for Paul Atreides and his Holy War. Joining the cast is Robert Pattinson, along with a reanimated version of Swordmaster Duncan Idaho from the first movie. Send help. After his detour into the Marvel Cinematic Universe for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, director Sam Raimi returns to what he does best: gory, comedy-tinged horror. Send Help stars Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien as co-workers stranded on an island after their plane crashes and everyone else on board dies. Violence appears to ensue. Everyone's favorite feathered friends are back in action in Angry Birds 3. The Angry Birds Movie 2, alums John Rice and Thurup Van Orman return as director and writer. Jason Sudeikis, Josh Gad, Rachel Bloom, Keke Palmer, and Tim Robinson are just a few of the big names attached to the project, along with influencers Jimmy Donaldson and Salish Matter. Disclosure Day. Steve Spielberg is making a new movie about aliens. Do you really need to know anything more than that? Okay, fine, there are aliens, and everyone's making the Spielberg face. 28 years later, The Bone Temple. Filmed in tandem with 28 Years Later, but directed by Nia DaCosta, The Bone Temple picks up where Danny Boyle's sequel left off, with young Spike welcomed into a group of murderous survivors led by Jimmy. A third, 28 Years Later film is already confirmed, so The Bone Temple serves as a crucial middle point in Boyle and screenwriter Alex Garland's post-apocalyptic trilogy. Zendaya and Robert Pattinson are bringing their combined star power to the romantic dramedy from Christopher Borgli titled The Drama. They play an engaged couple that gets thrown into a tailspin during the lead-up to their wedding after an unexpected revelation about one of them. After all, nothing can cause an existential crisis quite like picking out table linens. The next Pixar movie, Hoppers, follows a teenaged animal lover who uses an invention to take the form of a beaver and infiltrate the animal kingdom. She forges alliances with other critters to combat a human development project that encroaches on their natural habitat. We Bare Bears, creator Daniel Chong, directs an all-star voice cast of Piper Curda, Bobby Moynihan, John Hamm, and Meryl Streep. Wuthering Heights. We know this will not be an ordinary adaptation of the classic Emily Bronte novel. Knowing Emerald Fennell, it'll surely stoke some controversy, inspire several memes, and get plenty steamy. Indeed, just from casting announcements and trailer drops, it's already accomplished everything on that list. This version stars Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi and features original music from Charlotte Emma Aitchison. The Bride. A lonely Frankenstein travels to 1930s Chicago to ask groundbreaking scientist Dr. Euphronius to create a companion for him. The two revive a murdered young woman and the bride is born. What ensues is beyond what either of them imagined. Murder, possession, a wild and radical cultural movement, and outlaw lovers in a wild and combustible romance. Ready or not? Part 2, Here I Come. First part of the movie probably didn't need a sequel, but this follow-up horror comedy looks good. Samara Weaving returns as endangered bride Grace, but this time she's got a sister. Meanwhile, the devil-worshipping Ladomas family is replaced by a murderer's row of talent, including Sarah Michelle Gellar, Elijah Wood, and David Cronenberg. The sequel to the 2020 disaster film Greenland is set after a comet strike destroyed most of Earth. In Rick Roman Waugh's Greenland 2: Migration, the Garrity family, played by Gerard Butler, Morena Baccarin, and Roman Griffith Davis, must leave their bunker to embark on a journey across a decimated world to find a new home. Part 1 of this highly anticipated Michael Jackson biopic stars the King of Pop's real-life nephew Jafar Jackson in the titular role. The film will chronicle the first half of Jackson's career from his early days with the Jackson 5 to his meteoric rise as a solo artist. The film also sees Coleman Domingo and Nia Longstar as Michael's parents, Joe and Catherine Jackson, as well as Miles Teller as Jackson's attorney and manager John Branca and Laura Harrier as producer Suzanne DePass. Thanks for watching this video. We hope you will find some great movies for yourself. Maybe we missed some anticipated movies of 2026, but we will create second part of this video with more upcoming movies in 2026. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends.